Setting a proper motivation with 3 points. First, refuge field. Visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the enlightened masters, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and all the enlightened masters who you see as the sources of inspiration for you cultivating, for you to cultivate the most fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness and dependent origination, and the most beautiful mind of the universal compassion of Bodhichitta. And for the Bodhichitta field, visualize your two grandparents and all your family members, including children, and all dear mother sentient beings, human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, god and goddess, spirits, everyone included, and why the beings are suffering, and why some are creating the pains on others in the process, the opening new chapter of miseries for themselves, although they don't see that yet, but actually this is what is happening. They are consuming this cyanide with a very delicious meal mixed with the cyanide, and they don't know that it's going to kill them, and it's opening a new passage, the chapter for them to die with so much of pain and agony in the future. So this is what some people are opening new chapters of miseries, and some are in the process of experiencing the miseries. So in all, everyone, as long as you don't have the wisdom of emptiness and the bodhicitta, one is suffering. So with great compassion, you just be the source of inspiration for all the dim sentient beings, that eventually you will unravel the hidden treasure within you and share this wisdom with all the dim sentient beings. With this in mind, I request Andrew to begin with the prayers. Meanwhile, while recite the prayers, there are 3 ways of doing that. One is where the words flow, and as I said, your mind can be very distracted. This is not advisable. It's just waste of time. Number 2 is where the words flow and the meaning is reflected. So this is something which you can do, and as the meanings are reflected, you are actually the real transformation taking place. Transformation from becoming so agitated, easily the irritable to more calm person, and eventually the joy, the source. That is what happens. And the third one is where the words flow, the meanings reflected, and the experiences invoked. And of course, for a third, we can't expect that we can do it right away. It requires many, the years of practice. And yes, it doesn't mean that okay, I didn't do that, so I'm not for this third. This is not the meaning. The point is that, okay, third is something that I must. The third one is the one which actually brings about the actual concrete transformation within your mind, from being very selfish to other cherishing, thereby becoming very happy, from the state where you are lacking, deprived of happiness, life feels so boring, and then suddenly you see that the dawn of the happiness comes to you, and from the state of fear to the fearlessness. So all these things happen through the invoking of the experience within yourself, but this is something that we need to attain. This is what we're seeking, and the wise people will start to take start the journey from now, embark on the journey from now on, to experience this. So for this, contemplation is required, for which the study is required. So keep in mind that if I truly want to bring about transformation from the sadness to the misery to the happiness, miseries to the freedom from the fears, then this is a journey to be undertaken. And that too is not a journey that you can take overnight, but it's something that we need to consistently be doing that. So with this in mind, Andrew will begin.
Bottom of page 3. Enthused by great compassion, we taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all diverse views to you with the Dhamma. Enthused by great compassion, we taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views to you with the Dhamma. Taking refuge in generating bodhicitta. Sangye cholam soke cholam la chanchu bhaktu dhani kyatsuchi kage jinso kebe sonam ye chola dhanje sangye tubrashu Sangye cholam soke cholam la chanchu bhaktu dhani kyatsuchi kage jinso kebe sonam ye chola dhanje sangye tubrashu Sangye Chola Soge Chonam La Chanju Badu Dhani Japsu Dake Jinso Kipe Sonam Ye Kola Kanje Sangye Dubara Sho I go for refuge into my enlightenment, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. For my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge into my enlightenment, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. My accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge into my enlightenment, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. My accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is freed of aberrations. I prostrate to the mothers of the heroes, the bodhisattvas, and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead to your seeking pacification to complete peace, which through the knowledge of past causes those helping migrators to the chief aims of this world, and through the possessions which help subduers expound the variety of teachings. The one who is transformed into the reliable God, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, and protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, will eternally shine forth for forever noble light rays. To you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yesva Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yesvaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yesvaha. The meaning of the 10 Mantra mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great sphere. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-opposite. Such is the nectar-like Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one traveling this teaching, in silence I will retire into the woods. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceasing, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension and self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times, I pray this. The 4 seals of the Buddha's teaching. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are of the nature of suffering. All phenomena are of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. And sayings are always peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain in 50 teachings through the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to him. He is by teaching the truth of sustenance that beings are liberated. With folded hands, I seek the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the Buddha in his glory. Instructions on parting from the four attachments. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If you are grasping, you do not have the view. Page 14. Praise the Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakti clan, I prostrate make offerings in your refuge. When O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides and said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise and I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom motion like a golden mountain. Fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparable wise, to you I prostrate. The Saviour having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like the last bush, to you, the Tathagata, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realization, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the Sangha, I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning and clouds, seeking, wishing things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the four faults, and be delivered from samsara's revolution, perturbed by the ways of aging, sickness, and death. Page 29, Heart Sutra, Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the eye of Triple Gem. Dust area at one time, the Buddha was dwelling on the massive voluptuous mountains of Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration of the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Master Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 ideas also as empty of infinite nature. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Master Arya Avalokiteshvara. Passionately child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom training. He said that the Bodhisattva Master Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 ideas also as an empty of the inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composition of factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composition of factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element and so on up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, and no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration, and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the 3 times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment and reliance upon the perfect wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequal, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truths and should not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared. Jayata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva should train in the profound tradition of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from the concentration, commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Ayurveda Vishwa, saying, well said, son of the H. It is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound tradition of wisdom just as you have indicated, even the Tathagatas with visuals. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Ayurveda, those surrounding the entirety along the word of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Buddha. This completes the Arya Bhagavati Prajnaparamita Hridaya Sutra. Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata 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 Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels, possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer appearances be transformed. May they be dispelled. May they be non-existent. May they be pacified. May all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 18,000 obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma. May all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma. May auspiciousness and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Page 35. 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe Dorji. The determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpass even the wishes of them, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest among all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they engage in myself and others, may I strongly invoke abandonment of earth. May I see beings of unpleasant character, and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering. May I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, and since I have discovered a true pleasure. When others, out of jealousy, treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat, and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all the hurts and pains of my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusion, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. Namaste Prabhu's name and dedication for verse 1. From my peculiations vast the space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom lies blinded by ignorance. 7 excerpt from King of Prayers, extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samantabhadra. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri. You, the Buddha, is the lion amongst humans, born to freedom in the present, past, and future. In the world of 10 directions, for all of you, with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration to Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with many bodies of atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particle of Buddhas, numberless as particles, each is the host of Bodhisattvas. And I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with the Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you, the ocean of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all you Siddharthas. Beautiful flowers and regal gardens, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I offer to you, victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings and spectacular array I offer to you, victorious ones. With transcending offerings, fearless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength and conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done, with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these are openly laid before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers, heroes to training, and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You are the bright lights of the world in the 10 directions, who have obtained the Buddha's omniscience through the state of awakening. All you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you may actualize Parinirvana. Please stay with us for eons, numberless as atoms of the world, and for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated, by making prostrations, offering and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddhas stay and teach, I now dedicate all of this for the full awakening of all beings.
Okay, medal offering. This ground, unadorned with perfumes, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as the Buddha felt and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. You don't learn it. Know it. Okay. Celine? No. Okay. Sharon and Talia, two of you can learn from Ofri. And Celine and Neha from Shaoli. Okay, so learn from each other later during the break time. Good. Okay. O Sajebe Geshe Mendo Tam Erable Shenyende Sanye Shendo Mite Buvayin Togunanda Shela Chubarai Shu.
The four Dharmas of Venerable Gampopa. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is free of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four Dharmas of Venerable Bhikshu and Mahasattva. Becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps at true existence, please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with precious bodhicitta, that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness. It does not even see an atom of intrinsic reality on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through new conditions. Please bless me that my mind should overflow with the precious wisdom of non-duality and bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Varnoya. The foundation of all good qualities, Nama Sankappa. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect, pure good. Correct devotion is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as the water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karmas follow. Finding firm and definitive conviction in this, please bless me to always be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativities and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate strong wish to the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teaching is keeping the Patimokkha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I fall into the sea of samsara, so have all the other migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in the supreme Bodhichitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop Bodhichitta, but I don't practice this recharged morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With this clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I have pacified distractions from wrongdoings and directing on the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path, calm abiding, and specialist state. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the Force Ones, the supreme Vajradeva. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and samadhi. As I have become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges throughout my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, the essence of the Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, and the Gurus who show the noble path, and the spiritual friends who practice to have long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separate from the perfect Gurus. May I enjoy the magnificent Dharma, but completely ignorant to the state of the hearts. May I quickly attain the state of Vajradharma. First in English. Meaning of the mantra. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom. The Lord Vajrapani, destroyer of all the beings without exception. Samkara, crown jewel of the sages and lands and stones. Lord Samkara, at your feet are my prostrations.
so de me se te je re se Temekembe Wombo Jambe Yang Kanjen Kebe Tso Ye Tso Kaba Lo Santa Be Sham La So De. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception, Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the red nose, those on top by at your feet and make prostrations. Okay, Andrew, thank you. Okay, now let us in Tibetan, Tamjene Jugasem Kepa, in English, generating the amount of consummate yoga. For these 4 points to practice, the one, shamatha practice. Number 2, renunciation. Number 3, bodhicitta, thalia. Number 4, wisdom and sense good. And number 5. Okay, so then the actual, taking the aspiration bodhisattva vow, followed by dedication. Good. Okay, first 5 minutes of shamatha meditation. Okay. For the renunciation, we'll do the based on the four seals. And shall we try it without being guided? Let's try without being guided. And the initially, what is renunciation? I'll just mention a line, and then when I mention each one of these four seals, the first seal I mention it, and then you meditate on this. When I move after about like 2 minutes, I move to the second seal. Then you slowly wind up what are you doing and move to the second. No need to jump the rashly. Are you ready? And whereas when it comes to the emptiness, we'll do it guided, which is third seal. Okay, first, renunciation. Renunciation is to renounce the miseries. It's not to renounce the happiness. To renounce the miseries, we need to know how to renounce the causes of the miseries. The Buddha taught, Ye dharma hetu prabhava, hetum tesham tathagato hevatat. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. And what are the causes the Buddha taught? Are Nagarjuna indicated? Season comes afflictions is nirvana. Common afflictions arise from conceptualization of inappropriate attention, which in turn arises from the elaborations of self-grasping ignorance, and the elaboration ceases through the wisdom of emptiness. So from this we come to know that the ultimate source of the problems, misery, sadness, stress, anxiety, anguish, depression is the ignorance. And how to get rid of this ignorance? Ignorance many layers, and out of those many, there are four which the Buddha particularly emphasized for us to overcoming which all the other levels of ignorance as well can be eradicated. What are the four levels of ignorance? Buddha taught: misconceiving impermanent phenomena as permanent, misconceiving impure things as pure, misconceiving miseries as happiness, misconceiving what is selfhood nature, what is selfless nature as of selfhood. To counteract these four kinds of ignorance, the Buddha taught the first three seals out of the four, and the fourth one is the resultant state. After eradicating these four kinds of ignorance, what result, what benefit you get, that is the transcendence of soul, is absolute peace. The first, all composite things impermanent. All contaminated things are suffering nature. Everything's nature, emptiness, selflessness. Okay, we'll do this meditation emptiness based on the instruction. Okay, just try to follow these instructions. Let's today let's today do the meditation based on the self, yourself, the selflessness of person. And at times when we go through difficulties, sadness, deep sense of sadness, so forth, if you can practice this emptiness of the self, this will be very helpful to see this I who is suffering like an illusion. Okay, what are you doing? I'm meditating. And what is your body doing? My body is in a meditative state. And how does this person appear to you? Who you identify as I appear to you? Like a dream that subjective mind is projecting it, or so objectively there, so solid for objectified there, from the object, nothing to do with the mind, of course, so objectively there. If you identify that, this is identifying the object negation, what is to be negated, and believing that such a self exists objectively is the self-grasping ignorance. And this fulfills the essential of identifying the object negation. And how do we know that this belief that this I exists objectively is ignorance and not wisdom? How do we know that? To know that, remember what Adenigarjuna taught. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? With a similar token of reasoning, if this self who identified as I would exist objectively, why don't I see the self as I go closer to the object? Let us now go closer to the object. This is technically known as subjecting this I to the ultimate analysis. Subjecting this I to this I, the person who identifies I, to this ultimate analysis. Just ignore anything which is not the self. You are only interested in objective self, but if it's not objective self, just ignore. When you subject this self to the ultimate analysis. By doing so, we first see a thin layer of the skin of your body, behind that the fatty tissues. And those of us from medical background or in your school days you've studied biology, just use that here. Behind that, the fatty tissues. Behind that, the muscles, the cartilages, the whole skeleton, the heart, the lungs, the liver, pancreas, and so forth. All the solid parts constitute the element of earth. And the element earth, of course, is not identified intrinsically or objectively as one with the self. These are not identified as self objectively. Next element of water. 4 liters of blood which is pumped in and out by the heart with different parts of the body. Of course, that is not the self. Element of fire. 2,600 joules of energy that a body has. In other words, the body heat, body temperature, body heat. That's also not to be identified as intrinsically as one with the self. Element of air. 4.6 liters of air that you breathe in and out through your lungs. Of course, that's also not to be identified as this I. Element of space. 99.9% of your body is vacuum. The space occupied between the nucleus and the electrons is so vast in comparison with the space occupied by the electrons, protons, neutrons. Yes, but I'm not a space. I'm a solid person, and this space is vacuum in nature. So even this space is not identified as intrinsically as I. What is left? Now my mind is left, consciousness is left. In the context of the Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist psychology, the consciousness is an English word borrowed to understand the mind. Whereas in other traditions, consciousness is referred to as the self, the person. So we should not mix up these two. Simply by using the same word doesn't mean that the meaning remains the same. Meaning is very different. Even the mind is not me. People can see me from distance, but they don't see my mind. And I'm a male, I'm a non-male, I'm a female, I'm a non-female. But the mind doesn't have the gender. Gender is posited based on the body. So this mind is also not me. Okay, now what are you seeing? I'm just seeing the 6 elements. Element earth, fire, water, air, space, and consciousness. Tell me, out of the 2 possibilities for the self exists objectively, one, come too close to the object, you end up seeing the 6 elements. Either 6 elements should be the self as intrinsically, as objectively as the self, or different from 6 elements, they should be the self left, but remove the 6 elements. Which of the 2 possibilities? The first one, which of the 6 elements is to identify as objective as the self? None. If you're sure of this, this is what you understand as the essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically one with its parts. Now, if not one, remove the 6 elements to see if the self, objective self, does exist differently from the 6 elements. Remove the 6 elements, what happens? Nothing's left there. If you're sure of this, you got the essential of identifying the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically different from its parts. Now, if both of 2 possibilities ruled out, this is a reality, that if the self does exist objectively, then we should know that these are the only 2 possibilities. For accepting the self exists objectively pervades the 2 possibilities, and given that none of the 2 possibilities holds true, the existence of the self-objective real is proven to be faulty. Yes, now tell me, where does the self exist objectively? Nowhere, just in its experience for a while. This is the meaning of the 3rd seal. Everything is nature, empty, and selflessness. Okay, this is a very profound practice, but what's the benefit of this practice? Yes, that's true. Just as the self, in the eyes of the ultimate analysis, it dissolves. Likewise, seeing things of objective nature, which triggers pleasant feelings, give give rise give rise to the involuntary pull, and which triggers unpleasant feeling gives rise to the involuntary push, and the which gives rise to the neutral feelings makes us perpetuate the ignorance. So with this mind, subjecting these feelings and thus undesirable experiences like all the sorrows, stress, anxiety, sickness, aging, death, and so forth to the same analysis, likewise they will dissolve to see that for us to discover that they are empty of intrinsic reality, which we are so disturbed by seeing them so intrinsically real, now like they dream. They just say, oh, you wake up and disappear. What a relief that you feel. This is exactly what happens. Subjecting all these miseries, sorrows to the ultimate analysis, they all dissolve into thin air of the vast expanse of emptiness. And a very peaceful state dawns in you. Absolute peace dawns in you. This is what the Buddha indicated as transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Stay in this experience for a while. And in the experience of this emptiness, where all the sorrows dissolve, sense experience. And generate a very strong aspiration. May I forever remain in this experience of the emptiness where all my sorrows are transcended, where absolute peace dawns. Or this aspiration is the ultimate understanding of the renunciation. Or you slowly come out of this practice to move to the Bodhichitta practice. Are you ready? Bodhichitta practice. We'll do the Bodhichitta practice based on the 4 immeasurables. Okay, today we'll do it guided, and tomorrow we'll do it on our own. So, which means that we need to remember the points. And the 4 immeasurables, each of these 4 immeasurables, is covered under the 4 sub-themes. Okay, ready? The first, immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be? Number 1 is how good would it be? Number 2, may. Number 3, I take the responsibility. Then number 4, the Buddhist Bodhisattva is still so happy. And then number 5, you feel the relief. Under 5 points. Each one of them covered under 5 points. Ready? Immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. May all my dear sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. Causes of happiness primarily consisting of the most beautiful mind of Bodhichitta and the most fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness. The Buddhist Bodhisattva is witnessing that you're making such a courageous commitment. Like the mother after all these many years of raising children, today the eldest daughter just aged 12 and the eldest son aged 11. 2 of them come to the mother, telling the mother, "Mother, please take rest. You've done everything for us, and we know how much you love us, and we also love you. And you've done everything. Now we are grown up. We'll take care of all the siblings." And the mother, just imagine how happy. The tears of happiness flowing through her cheeks. This is exactly what happens to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. They're so happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke the compassionate minds to send forth nectars of soothing lights towards you and all ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of lesser nectars for the Buddhist beings yours. instills in all happiness and causes happiness in the minds of sentient beings yourself. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to all of them as sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths. Sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. Cause of suffering primarily consisting of self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you're making such a courageous commitment, they're intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to Centerfold. Nectars of soothing lights towards you in all dimensions sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the body speaks yours, washes away all the miseries and the cause of miseries for the minds of sentient beings yourself. And you're witnessing such a miracle is happening to all of the sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. May all my dear sentient beings never be separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, the intense happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to Centerfold. Nectars of soothing lights towards you in all dimensions beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars of the body brings yours, stabilizes the happiness and the causes happiness that the beings are endowed with. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening all our dimension beings, intensely happy. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sound the relief. Next, immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment to a sum and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dimensions with total love and affection, leaving them aside. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that we make such courageous commitment, like the mother of all these many years raising children, today the eldest son, the eldest son, just so young and tender, they come to mother, telling the mother, "Mom, please take rest. You have done everything for us, and we are grown up. We'll take care of you, all our siblings now." The mother couldn't believe her eyes, and yes, she felt so proud and happy. This is exactly what happens to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. The happiness and the pride the Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel, their compassionate minds were sent for nectars and soothing lights towards all living sentient beings and yourself, and you, and the mere touchless nectars with the body's beings yours. Frees the beings from the biased attitude of excessive attachment to some and aversion towards others, and making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other mother sentient beings equally, leaving none aside. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to all our demon sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sighing with relief. Underscoring all the four immeasurables is unconditional love. Just abide in the experience of unconditional love. Imagine that you look in the eyes of each of the sentient beings with total love and affection, to the extent that each one of them feels themselves so special in your eyes. With folded hands, let us make a Bodhichitta commitment together 3 times. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all dear mother sentient beings. Just abide in the experience of the most beautiful mind in this entire universe. The altruistic intention to become Buddha for the benefit of dear mother sentient beings. Feel that. It's so beautiful. The mere presence, the mere feel of that simply relaxes every atom, every cell of your body. It's amazing, beautiful. Slowly transform this beautiful mind of Bodhicitta into a spotless and clean moon disk, horizontally sitting with the heart. Okay, it's amazing that you made such courageous commitment to become Buddha for the benefit of dimensional beings. But remember, no matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil comes out. Yes, I know that. I'm not like a handful of sand. Not like a handful of sand. I'm like a handful of sunflower seeds, squeezing which oil does come out. I have the Buddha nature within me. I have the hidden treasure within me, the Buddha nature within me. But if this were to be the case, how come that it is not awakened since time immemorial till today? Yes, that's all because that I'm deceived by the two demons and making me think that these were the best of my friends, as my protectors, as my protection. Today I'm disillusioned by that, to discover that these are the true demons. They're always them coming in the facade of my friends, but in actuality harming me, destroying me. And I'm going to destroy these two, to eradicate these two. How are we going to do that? By introducing a very powerful remedy. What is that remedy? The wisdom of emptiness. Okay, let us quickly retrieve the experience of the emptiness which we meditated as the third of the 4 seals. Ready? Okay, what are you doing? I'm meditating. And how does this person appear to you? Objectively or subjectively? Of course, objectively. That belief that this person who you identify as I, believing this to be objective real, this is self-grasping ignorance. How do you know that this ignorance is not a valid mind? Remember what Nagarjuna taught. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close to the mirage see water? With a similar token of reasoning, if this I would exist objectively, why don't they see the self, I, as object real when subject by going closer towards it? Yes, okay, now let us go closer to the object, which is technically known as subjecting the self to ultimate analysis. Okay, by doing so, we end up seeing 6 elements: element earth, water, fire, air, space, and consciousness. Okay, what do you see now? In our ultimate analysis, what I see? I just see the If at all there is something objective, I see 6 elements. Now tell me, which of the 6 elements is to be identified as objectively as the self? None. Empty of being intrinsically one with the parts. If not, then look for a second alternative. Remove the 6 elements to see if the self exists intrinsically different from the 6 elements. Remove the 6 elements, what happens? Nothing is left there. It's also discovered that the second possibility, that self can possibly exist as intrinsically different from the parts, that's also ruled out. Yes. Now tell me, where is the self from the object in our ultimate analysis? Nowhere. This is what I'm discovering now. It is not at all there objectively. Stay in this experience for a while. This is known as meditative equipoise of the space-like emptiness. Slowly transform this wisdom of emptiness into a spotlessly clean, thumb-size, white Vajra, vertically sitting on the moon-discovered heart. Okay, now this is amazing. You have the blaze of the non-dual bodhicittas. The moon symbolic of the conventional bodhicitta to exterminate self-centered attitude, and the Vajra symbolic of the ultimate bodhicitta, which is the non-dual wisdom of the Ari Bodhisattvas, and the final remedy to overcome this self-grasping ignorance, self-centered attitude, and all the offshoots of these two and their self-stains. Amazing. Yes, that's amazing. Which means that you're going to experience the fearlessness by eradicating the afflictive obscurations, and you're going to experience the infinite happiness by eradicating the cognitive obscurations. Amazing. Yes, but remember that your two parents are suffering, your children are suffering, all your family members are suffering, all the sentient beings are suffering. Yes, invoke intense compassion to resolve the demon sentient beings. This compassion invokes the Vajra moon at your heart to multiply infinite number of times. Share one set of the Vajra moon at the heart of your mother, one set at the heart of your father, one set with each one of family members, including children, one with each of the beings here in India, the human beings, animals, insects, herbivores, gods and goddess spirits. Likewise, with each of the beings in your own country, in the wilderness, in the oceans, in the entire world, in the entire Milky Way galaxy, and the entire universe. Now everyone has a share of the Vajra moon, which you so generously, so kindly shared with them. Wow, this is amazing. Meanwhile, let's not forget that all Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they're also watching us. So why not we request the Buddhist Bodhisattvas to be the witness to our taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. As just for making this request, let us slowly stand up along with all demon sentient beings to make true prostrations to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Okay, let us turn to page 51. Okay, you know the meaning now. We have to make sure that the meanings are well reflected. And just imagine all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're watching us. And, okay, imagine that you're a little girl, little boy, who's just age 4 or 5, For the first time in your life, you are making a public appearance on behalf of your school, and your parents are so proud. They leave behind whatever they have to do that day to join the audience, waving their hands to you, saying that we're here to feeling so proud of you and to give you moral support. And you are also very happy to see that your parents are there. This is exactly what all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas are doing. As you requested, they come to witness, to be the guests, to be the witness to undertake the ceremony of taking aspiration Bodhisattva vow. And you, as a very, although very young and tender little girl, little boy, you're a very responsible child, and you bring along with you all the siblings. This is exactly what you do, to bring all the demonstration beings with you to take the aspiration Bodhisattva. Give them the opportunity to take the aspiration Bodhisattva with you, and there's nothing greater than this. Yes, we're all going to die, this is reality, but then this is a journey ahead of us after this life. And taking this aspiration Bodhisattva vows will guarantee that in the next lives we'll come in contact with these teachings, and we'll continue to keep improving in a state of being, eventually to uncover this hidden treasure within us, and then that we can stop all the tears of samsara completely, and to experience the happiness and ease at infinity, and that we can share this with all the imaginary beings. But this mind, you as a little girl, little boy, very responsible, encourage all your siblings to join you, encourage all the sentient beings to join you, whether they are living or they are deceased, they have passed away. Just bring them all to your visualization. With this mind, imagine that you're leading this practice and all beings are joining us. Let's say this together 3 times. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhichitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhichitta, and Lavashara to successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhichitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhichitta, and otherwise shall I do successful train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhichitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhichitta, and otherwise shall I do successful train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhichitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhichitta, and otherwise shall I do successful train the Bodhisattva practices. Feel the joy of having received the expression Bodhisattva vow. This is indeed so precious. And the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, like the mother after all these many years of receiving complaint from school principal that about you as a little boy, but for today again the school principal, when the mother sees the school principal coming towards her, she saw her parents, what kind of complaints today? The school principal says, no, we came here to congratulate you. For what for? That your little girl and little son, 2 of them are appointed as the best students of the school for this year. The mother couldn't believe her eyes and ears after all these many years of receiving complaints today. But you did is something which made them so happy. This is exactly what all Bodhisattvas feel today of you having taken the expression Bodhisattva vow. And this joy and happiness Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel invoke the Vajra moon in the form of full-fleshed form to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, all these radicals Vajra moon from the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they descend to merge with the one that visualized their heart, thereby become non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Likewise, all the innumerable infinite version moon from Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they descend to merge with the one that visual at the heart of your mother, at the heart of your father, at the heart of each one of them members, in the children, and each of the beings in India, in your own country, in the oceans, in the wilderness, in the whole world, in the whole Milky Way galaxy, and the entire universe, thereby becoming known to all, stabilized, and blessed. That's amazing. And we can't imagine anything more beneficial than this. And the best way by which to repay the kindness of all the dear sentient beings is this practice. And today you have repaid the kindness of the kindness. And of the Buddha made it very clear. One moment of practicing compassion far excels the making the offerings of the filling the whole universe with gems and precious stones and so forth, and offered to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. The one moment far excels those offerings of the gems and so forth. If this were the case, what I mentioned of our having taken the aspiration of Bodhisattva today, this is again the greatest offering that we made to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. And out of your life, there's nothing greater than what you've done today. You've given such meaning to your life. And all these three wonders, they're happening because of the blessings and the kindness of the triple gem of the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. As a gesture of thanking them for this, the wonder, these three wonders, let us slowly stand to make three prestations along with demonstration makes to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Okay. Let us turn to page 51. Let us wholeheartedly recite the following verses, contemplate on the meanings. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicitta saving across my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicitta saving across my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicitta saving across my life. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucidly seized an awakened mind of bodhicitta in this way should highly praise in the following manner. Today my life has borne fruit. Having well obtained this human existence, I've been born in the family of the Buddha and now in one of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall I disgrace or pollute this noble and unsought race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in a heap of rubbish, likewise by some coincidence, an awakened mind has been born within me. It is the supreme ambrosia that overcomes suffering to death. It is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world. It is the supreme medicine that cures the world disease. It is a tree that shelters all beings wandering entirely on the path of conditioned existence. It is the universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth. It is the dawn and moon of the mind that dispels the torments of disturbing conceptions. It is a great sun that finally removes the mystic ignorance of the world. It is the quintessential butter from the churning of the milk of Dharma. For all those guys traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the abundance of happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and actually place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, I invite the world to be guests at a festival of temperate and ultimate delight, may gods, demigods, and joyful all be joyful. I dedicate the merit thus gathered to the realization that these prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times under the upholding of the doctrine, scripture, and insight, and all lives through the fullest merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahāyāna vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, Bodhichitta, perfect in the 2 stages. From our 2 collections past the space that have amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the shield-leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom has eyes blinded by ignorance. Okay, next we'll recite the mantra. Tagye tuje shage risu cho shenge emeto dege ponjomba serge numbo tabo jibe ko shage yebo kyala cha se lo mone mone Mahamona Yeswaha Om Muni Muni Mahamona Yeswaha Tagye tuje shage risu cho shenge meto dege bonjomba sege lumbo tabo jebe ko shaye yebo kyala cha se do mone mone Mahamona Yeswaha Om Muni Muni Mahamona Yeswaha Tagye tuje shaye risu cho shenge meto dege bonjomba serge lumbo tabo jibe ko shage yebo kyala cha se lo mone mone Mona Yeswaha Om Muni Muni Mahamona Yeswaha Om Muni Muni Mahamona Yeswaha Om Muni Muni Mahamona Yeswaha Om Muni Muni Mahamonaye Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamonaye Swaha. Three abbreviations together.